Hello everyone, this is Carnell. I'm getting ready to go over the final installation for the Rollin Eyes light set. On this video, I'll be going over the installation of the vehicle to the wire to vehicle kit. After this video, you should pretty much understand how to connect your Rollin Eyes light set. I still won't be connecting mine because I'm still waiting on other equipment. But this video is for everyone that was asking me how did I install the Rollin Eyes light set to my motorcycle, and what was the connections that I made. And so with this final step, I'll be going over the exact wiring, or the wiring harness you'll be connecting to, how to install the ground and positive wire going back to the fuse block. So out of all the videos, this number 3 video is the one that's most important, and probably the one that you all are probably going to end up watching for us. Where is the connection going to go that you need to make? I'll go over these pretty much as fast as I can, because these videos do get kind of long. And at the same time, like I said, after I'm done with this video, everyone that asks me about the installation and the wiring harness, this video here will answer all your questions. All right, now I'm gonna go over the installation right quick, and we'll go from there. The vehicle to wire kit looks like this. If you go to the Eaglemont website, this is what you'll see. The vehicle to wire kit, the wire to vehicle kit is the connection that you'll make on your motorcycle going from the controller to the actual harness for your motorcycle. You also have to make a positive connection and also a ground connection. Now keep in mind what I said about the fuse block. Once you install a fuse block to your battery terminals, all your positive connection will be going to that fuse block. And installing your controller, you need to determine exactly where you want to install your controller. If you're starting out and you're buying only one controller, some people have put them up under the seat there and made a little nice place for them. The more equipment that you end up buying, as far as the controllers, the amplifiers, the more space you're going to need. Some people actually put theirs inside the trunk on the left side. But for me, because this is my actual 3rd installation of the Rollin Eyes, and I have accumulated so many different Rollin Eyes light sets, leads, that I'm at a point now that I almost need my whole left trunk. So what I end up doing, I ran all my connections from my leads, which is all the gray flat cable that you see here, coming from the right side, coming across, going from the right side in the back, going across. I try to keep it as neat as possible, coming around, making all the connections, coming here, coming down the saddlebag, coming down the side, behind the saddlebag, and all my connections are coming out at the bottom of the saddlebag. And this is the flat ribbon cable that is connecting all my leads. And at the end of the leads, this is where I was telling everyone, at the end of the leads, you probably want to mark exactly where these leads are going, so you can keep up with when you start connecting where these actual cables are going. Like this one here is going to my right rear seat, which is the one that's actually up here somewhere. And so if you mark your ribbons, you'll come out better as far as trying to keep up with what is coming from where when you start adding your controller and adding your lead slice to your controller. that is the first connection or the hole that I drill for my leads lights. Now, when you add to your controller, add your leads lights to your controller. Depending on which controller you purchase, if you start now, you just bought the small controller which holds 72 left front, left right, 72 right rear, left rear. Biggest thing about the controller is you got to remember, you got to keep up with the count of how many leads on your bike. See, like here, I got all these leads here. This is my left front. You have to keep up with the count. If you end up installing more leads on your motorcycle than your controller can handle, then that controller will not be able to turn those lights on. So you have to keep up with what the amount of leads. And what I mean about leads is these are the leads for the Rollin Eyes. Each one is a count. This particular size is a 36 lead light. All right. So if I got this controller, the small controller that can hold 72 leads on the left front or the left rear, then I could use 2 of these 36s, which is on my right here. I could be able to place 2 of these 36s on my left rear here, and that's maxing out that controller. Or in the front, if I have 36 leads in the front, then that's maxing out the left lead, the left front for the lead count, and the same for the right front and the right rear. So you definitely have to keep up with the count. Now, let me go over how I got this stuff installed. Now, for us the vehicle to wire kit, I made another hole up at the top here, and this hole is specifically just for the positive to ground and my wire to vehicle kit. Now, I'm gonna pull on my hot wire here, my positive, so you can see exactly where it's being connected to. Can you see it moving there? Okay, my positive wire is going to my fuse block. You make the connection to the fuse block, put it in, and then my fuse block is holding a 15 amp fuse just for the positive cable going to the controller. Now keep in mind, you can continue to add all your positive connections to your fuse block, but none of them goes active until you actually add a fuse. Once you add a fuse, then that positive cable is active once you make the negative connection to your battery terminal. Because right now I got it off. I got it disconnected. And the same for the ground. I pull on my ground cable. You can see that I actually air my ground going up to where I'm making my ground connection. I got it all wrapped up in here. Even though I got my positive connection connected, my negative connection is off and bubble wrapped, so it won't make no type of connection. Now the fuse block itself also has an inline fuse, which is holding a 30 amp fuse. Now, with the connections going from the controller positive cable up to the fuse, the positive connection has a 15 amp fuse, and then the fuse block itself has a 30 amp fuse. Alright, the ground is connected to the ground. Alright, so that covers my positive and my negative. My negative connection is going to my controller. And see, I made the cable long enough so I can be able to put the positive and negative cable as far as all the way to the back if I wanted to. The next one is the vehicle to wire to vehicle kit, which is coming up here. Now I wanted to make my wire to vehicle kit that's going to be, I wanted to have it so where wherever I place my controller inside my saddlebag, the cable will be long enough to reach wherever I decide to put it. Now, with that being said, that means that my wire to vehicle kit comes up short when I push it through the hole and bring it up here. So this is where the posted tap extensions come in at. I took the same color code cable gauge wire, added through the posit tap extension to the end of the wire vehicle kit, and then tied it all off here, and then ran my cable that's going to be long enough to go all the way up to the wiring harness where it needs to be connected to. Now, the correct wiring harness that this is going to be connected to is usually on the right side back here, and it's usually hid up under a brace. You just simply pull it out, and that's the one you need to connect your wire to vehicle kit to. Now, mine looks a little bit different because I have some extra lights, Carnell lights hooked up. So the extension, you're actually looking at an extension version of the same cable that you're looking for. But this is the whole cable here. So if you got the extension, or you running other Carnell lights, you have this whole extension. If you don't have Carnell lights, then you have this part and this part connected. So it looks a little shorter. But mine looks longer because I have extra lights hooked up to it. But it doesn't matter. It's still the same connection. It still looks the same. It's just one is probably longer than the other one. Alright, now on this particular connection, this wiring harness, as you can see, I still have the same color codes for my extra wire that's coming from my Rollin Eyes lights, my Rollin Eyes wire to vehicle kit, and I have to make the connection to the back of the wiring harness. Alright, instead of trying to pull this apart to tell you exactly which one to connect to, I just simply wrote them down, and I want to make sure you get a good look at the wiring harness that you're going to be connecting to. You got the yellow, the white, blue, black, and look like green. Alright, those wires will be connecting exactly like this. The black wire from the Rollin Eyes wire to vehicle kit will be connecting to the light blue wire in the wiring harness. The blue cable from the vehicle to wire to vehicle kit will be going to the orange cable with the silver or gold stripe. That's this one here, if you can see it. The green cable coming from the Rollin Eyes wire to vehicle kit will be going to the brown and white connection wire cable. That's that one there. If you can see it, it's brown and white. The same with the white cable coming from the Rollin Eyes wire to vehicle kit. It also will be going to the same cable, which is the brown and white one. Even though they're going to the same cable, do not tie these two together and run them to the same cable. Make two different connections going to that brown and white cable. I tried it and it just didn't work when I connected them. But once I made a separate connection, it was good to go. Now the last cable is the yellow cable in the wire to vehicle kit. It's going to the green and red strip. Green and red strip, and it's very distinctive, but mine is probably kind of hid there. The green and red one is this one here, and it's kind of hard to see the red, but that's the green and red. So that's 5 connections that you need to make, and there's one other additional connection, which is the red cable coming from the wire to vehicle kit. But my red cable had to stay down here because I have to run my red cable. I ran it back all the way through. My red cable is actually going all the way back down, coming back up, coming around, and going up to my switch. Now remember at the beginning of the video, I showed you that you had to get a switch. Now the switch, the back of the switch, all you have to do is stick your hand up in there, drill your hole in your side panel here small enough where the end of the tip can come through. And the back of the switch, you're going to add one red wire going to one side, and then a complete another red wire coming from the switch, coming back under, going back up, coming back around, and coming back down, going back to your fuse block. And that would be my second cable here. This second cable is also connected with a 15 amp fuse. With a 15 amp fuse. So this second connection is actually connected with a 15 amp fuse that's going to the fuse block. This second connection runs the switch that you can control the rolling eyes by simply turning them on to show mode, so you can show off your lights while the vehicle is on. It's not, I highly recommend putting it on if you're the type of person that want to show off, or you want to have the capability of turning them on while the bike is on. So that's why I installed the switch. Keep in mind, you're stateside. You cannot run show mode while the vehicle is running. You will get a ticket so quick, it's pitiful. Other than that, that completes the installation of the positive, connection, the ground connection, and the vehicle to wire kit. Now, once you install your controller, you'll be connecting to your controller with the cables here. Just make sure, don't do like I did when I first installed doing my first installation. I had it going the wrong way. So make sure that the cables are matching up with the color codes going to the controller. Make sure your positive cable is going to the positive and the negative is going to the negative. Make sure you label your ribbons, and also label your ribbons and keep up with the count on what side that those connection is going to. If you follow those simple instructions, you will have no problem connecting your controller and installing your Rollin Eyes light set. Now, to make sure that I don't step on any toes from Eaglemont, Eaglemont is the manufacturer of this product. I'm not going over how to program your Rollin Eyes. Eaglemont did a fine job of explaining that on their website. Programming the controller, how to use your phone. You're still going to have to do your own research on how to connect this stuff. But other than that, I have given you everything you need to know on how to install your lights, from actually installing the lights to running your wire to making the connections and where the connections need to be made. I'm going to let this be the last thing that you see before I close out. This is the wiring harness. This side is the wire to vehicle kit color code, and this side is the wiring harness. Other than that, folks, I hope I explained this as best as I possibly could, so you can try to do your own installation. And I wish y'all the best of luck. I won't be posting another video for us how to install the Rollin Eyes, because like I said, you all asked me what was the connection that I made, so I gave that up to you. Good luck to you, and I wish you all the best. My next video will be once my bike is complete and back together. I'll show off my Rollin Eyes lights, and I'm gonna hit the highway. Y'all have a good one.